When you think you can't go anymore, keep going. Right when you think there's no breath left in you, there's more. You have to always be pushing past your mental boundaries. If you can see your hands in front of your face, there's still more breath left in you. So you got to find your lighthouse. You got to find your light at the end of the tunnel. That light will always guide you. When your vision gets all foggy, your lighthouse will show you the way. And that lighthouse could be anything from a mindset, a goal, something that you put in front of you that says, okay, this is where I'm headed. This is what I'm going for that. I need to stay focused on that. And that's what you do. That's what you got to go for your lighthouse. Look for your lighthouse. It will guide you through the fog. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to recharge your batteries and regroup your thoughts. Um, just remember that when that break is over, you still got work to do. Because in the end, you are the maker of your own rules. Bend them, break them if you have to make new rules, whatever you got to do to get through it. But don't ever give up. Good example, years ago, I worked for a lumberyard. I was doing a delivery to this guy's house. It was a bunch of like pine boards, trim stuff, a lot of wood that's used for like finish work or very meticulous stuff. I get to the guy's house and there's a garage door. There's a garage in the back. The garage is open, and I can see there's like a wood shop, like a woodworking shop in the garage. So I just back up to the garage. Um, as I'm unstrapping the load, the guy comes out of his house and he comes walking out of the back porch. Had a great big porch back there. He's walking down the stairs. He's wearing a hat, and he has the hat pulled down so far that it's like covering his eyes. And he comes down the stairs, and I'm on, just minding my own business, doing my thing. But I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, man, lift your hat up. Like you can't, how can you walk around like that? You can't see what you're doing. He gets to my truck and instantly sticks his arm out and he's like feeling the side of the truck as he's walking. And that's when it dawned on me. I'm like, this guy's blind. That was impressive because he walked, he didn't have a stick like most blind people. He just walked right out there, walked down the stairs, came across a walkway, and then started heading down the driveway. I almost forgot. If you're enjoying everything you're watching so far, do me a favor, hit the like button. Um, I have a tendency to forget. So whenever I see videos and they've got this message like right towards the beginning of their video, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to go hit the like button. So go hit the like button and I appreciate it. Um, Now I sound stupid. Anyway, thank you. Even more impressive is that the wood was for him and the woodworking shop was his and he does all this woodworking blind. The guy told and he was like in his 60s somewhere around there when I met him, and he had told me that when he was 40 he went completely blind. He was had no like prior issues with vision. He was fine. He up until he was 40, he saw perfectly like everybody else. And then something happened. He didn't get into details, but he completely lost his vision at 40. So after 40 years of n- having sight, he had to learn now how to do things from scratch, at 40 years old. That's hard, man. And this guy kept doing his woodworking and he was building stuff. I was looking in his garage. There was stuff in there that was like really, like I said, meticulous. He had bandsaws, wood lathes, and all this stuff that he could use. And I was not convinced that he was able to use this stuff. And he knew that I wasn't convinced. And he said, "Here, I'll show you that I can do this stuff." And he turns on his bandsaw. And I don't know if you've ever seen a bandsaw, but a bandsaw is just what it sounds like. It's a band. The blade is a band. Um, this one was set up vertically, so the band would go. It's usually mounted on two pulleys or whatever, and the blade goes, around like this. He turns on the bandsaw and he starts cutting a piece of wood. His fingers, what he does is when his fingers get close to the blade, he can feel the wind blowing on his fingers, and he knows when to slow down and when to, back off and keep his fingers away. And by losing his sight, he enhanced all his other senses, his sense of touch, and his sense of feel, touch, whatever you want to call it. That's what he was using to gauge how close he could get to the blade. And that's pretty slick, man. I mean, I wouldn't even want to consider doing that ever in my life. And this guy's doing it all the time. Well, this was years ago. Oh God, I was probably like 20 years old. So this was a long time ago. But that was impressive. And that's a really good example of when you think you can't go any further, keep going because you can. You just got to find it inside yourself. A lot of us, for lack of a better term, are just lazy, and we see these obstacles that seem impossible or overwhelming, and we're like, "Pff, I'm just going to give up. I can't do this." See, people who are a little less fortunate, they push through and they find ways, and if they can, so can we. So when you're struggling with like what to do in the world of YouTube, and you're trying to push forward, just always know that right when you think there's no more left in you, there's more left in you. So that was just a thought I had today, and I wanted to uh, get the thought onto video and get it put down so that I wouldn't lose it, because a lot of times when you come up with an idea, well, this is for me anyway, and I think this probably applies to a lot of people. When you come up with an idea that you want to do for YouTube, a lot of times if you don't work on it right away, or if you don't do it right away, it just goes away. It either becomes too daunting or too hard. It seems too big, too like, I can't do it this way. I'm going to need to. So lately, what I've been trying to do is when I have a thought, when I have something that I'm like, you know what, that would make a good video, I want to go do that video, get it done before I decide not to do it. Because the whole deciding not to do things, that's what's been holding us all back. That's what's been keeping us from finding out. We have to, just like we've all been talking about, you just have to hit record. And that's true. And you can't be as judgmental on yourself. Everything will come, you know what I mean? If you're not real good with lighting, that'll eventually come. If you're not good with audio, that's eventually going to come. Everything will come together eventually, but it's not ever going to come together if you don't just start doing it and push through. So that's my message for this video is, when you think you don't have any more left in you, keep going. So that pretty much wraps it up. I want to thank everybody that hung in this long, and I appreciate it. And if you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can get notified every time I upload a new video or new content. I would greatly appreciate it. So that's all I've got for tonight. I will see you in the next video.